Hello and welcome to today's virtual card and a cuppa. My name is Fiona Whitten and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Wokingham in the UK. Just before I go on any further, I'm just going to quickly check that this video is actually going out live. There's no reason why it shouldn't, but it'll be sod's law that it's not. So it looks like it's doing okay, or maybe not. My laptop's having fun, not again. Okay, well it says live, but I can't actually see it. So I'm going to have to assume that it is. Right, it's going to come out of that. Hey, right, okay, I'm going to have to wing it in the vague hope that yes, this is working fine. So today's card and the cuppa is I'm going to share with you the 3 cards and the kit that went to this morning's card and the cuppa over at the chocolate cafe, the Grange Chocolate Cafe over at the Home Grange Craft Village, which is actually not too far from where I live. And then I'm going to make a 4th card, not a 3rd card, I've already got 3 cards, a 4th card live. So I hope you enjoy it. I mean, I know the ladies this morning had a great time making their cards. I took quite a few photos and those will be going up on Facebook later, or maybe even tomorrow, depending on how much time I have to spare after this. But anyway, so I'm not going to show you the cards yet. I just want to share with you the kit that everybody received. So this was, I designed this back in January before I went to the States, but I'm back now. So this was the kit that they got at the beginning of the month, at the first one, and now obviously we're on the second one because it's the 20th of March. So we are actually using this one. So we have a Melon Mambo card base. So this is A4 cut in half, so the other half would normally be there. So it's basically been cut on the long side at 14.85, turned and then scored at 10.5 centimetres. Being in the UK, everything here is usually in centimetres. Was a panel of Melon Mambo. No, sorry, that's Melon Mambo, that's Berry Burst, that's it. There's a panel of basic white to go on the inside. There's a strip of basic white for stamping a sentiment. And then there's also this piece of Masterfully Made double-sided paper. I shared a while back details about this paper. It was designed by the design team over at Stampin' Up, and it's this is a photograph effectively of a larger image which was produced using paper. And you can see these are all paper flowers. These strips here are strips of cardstock that have been literally torn to create the stalks and things. And again, we've got some torn pieces here. So all of the paper in this pack is it's sort of work of art within work of art. So you've got drawn, you've got acrylic paints, pictures, all sorts of wonderful things that have been designed and then photographed to create this paper. So that was the kit, and that's what I will be using in a minute or two. I took with me the Biggest Wish photopolymer stamp set, which is good because you don't have to guess where you're actually stamping these images. And it's purely sentiments, but you can make up your own, mixing and matching the different fonts. So you can do a happy birthday or happy birthday, similarly, you know, hello friend, and things like that. And you could just do hello, 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 different fonts as thanks, and thanks again. So it's a great set that you can just make up your own sentiment as you wish. It is quite large. This says its images at 95%. So if I actually take out this birthday, you can see when I actually put it over, it's slightly wider, so it comes to about here. So you do need to be wary about the width and the depth of the cardstock you stamp it onto. The strip that I gave everybody actually is, let's see, it's 3 centimetres wide by 14.8 long. So I could, in theory, have it going across if I make a landscape or portrait card. The other stamp set that I took was the Irresistible Blooms, primarily because I liked these flower images. So one of the cards that I've made, and you'll see, is where you can actually see I've used these in places, and I quite like the dots as well. They're kind of random, so which is nice because they're good for filling in things. Which flower images. So you don't need to hear me. Anyway, so I've got the other replay working, so I can actually see that I've got everything in position. So this was the first card that I designed, and so it's simply, as I always describe it, it's throw everything at it. So it's got the Melon Mambo base, it's got the Berry Burrs panel, it's got the paper, which it does have to be trimmed down, so it is the right width. I go down 0.5 centimetre increments, so it's 10.5, 10, and then this piece of paper is 9.5, and then this needs to be cut down so you can take a piece off. And I left it like that deliberately so that people could decide whether they wanted more of the wording. So this is wording. You can't read it very well, but it's one of these things that if you do put it upside down, it will bug you. I know, because it bugged me. So you do need to be careful about that. So you can either take a piece off the bottom or a piece off the top. It's up to you. And then simply used the happy and the birthday stamped on both ends. So I did the happy here and the birthday there. And then just cut them up and added them to the card front with some dimensionals. And there should be 3 rhinestones on here, but obviously one's decided to fall off, so I will have to do that. In fact, all of them look as if they've lost a rhinestone. Hey. And then the inside, I simply stamped the larger of the two flowers from the Irresistible Blooms. So that's in Berry Burrs, so it was a contrast against the Melon Mambo. So that was the first card that I made. The second card, I decided that what I was going to do was I cut, this is where I have to remember what I did. I cut the paper here, or actually it was through here. So I effectively turned the flowers upside down. I didn't realise it when they were talking to me at the Card and the Cuppa this morning. They kept saying, have you put that upside down? And of course I was looking at it upside down, so it looked the right way round for me. But no, it is upside down. Well, I say it's upside down, but it can't, personally, I don't think it makes any difference. So I literally cut it here, glued that piece on, and then turned this piece over and used the reverse side. So in fact, actually, I think I put that bit on first, and then I put that bit on. And then I used the Hello Friend stamps, cut this to size first, so it's 9.5 centimetres wide, and then stamped the Hello Friend, and then adhered it so that it's over the join for the 2 pieces of the 2 bits of paper, so you don't see that, so that's all hidden. And then some rhinestones as well, so that's on dimensions. Everything else is glued on, and this one has got 3 rhinestones on, so it hasn't gone astray, so that's good. And then I just simply stamped a hello again in Berry Burst, so that it was a complement to the Melon Mambo, and it's also the same colour that's on the front. So that was the second card. Third card, you know me, I like to do things a little bit differently. So I took my trimmer out, put that to one side, and I simply trimmed it so that it was actually no, I cut it in half thinking about it. I cut it in half first, trimmed it so that it was the right length. So that will be like 5 centimetres. Let's see, we can do it on here just about, yeah, it was right, 5 centimetres, and then that's going to be like 14 centimetres from top to bottom. But before I glued it on, I stamped the blooms on there. So this is tone on tone, so I used Berry Burst ink on Berry Burst card. So that's what that was, and then I glued the paper on. And again, I did the happy birthday. So I did the bold happy, and then the curly birthday, and then cut them up and then put them on using dimensionals, and again added some rhinestones. And then this piece was just a bit of scrap I had from about here that I just cut up and put on the top because it wasn't quite long enough. It wouldn't have been long enough to go that way, so I just simply put it on the top just to give something slightly different. So those are the 3 cards I created. There was all sorts of things going on this morning. They were very happy doing some fussy cutting. I'd suggested to them that rather than cutting like this, they could, because this is all made from torn paper, they could actually tear the paper and scrunch it and do all sorts of things. They didn't quite take that to heart, but they did decide that they were going to fussy cut around the flowers. So there was a few of them that did that, a few did sort of some stamping, and so there was a real mixture of cards this morning, which was really nice to see. And I took a photograph of them all sharing their cards, so as I said, that will go up on Facebook on here probably tomorrow morning by the time I get around to doing everything. So got my envelope, which I don't need at this precise moment. I've got my base card, my piece of white to go on the inside, my panel of Berry Burst, and also that strip of white. And then I've also got my double-sided paper. And I was thinking, well, they all did some fussy cutting this morning, so I don't really want to sort of do what they did. So I'm going to go do something different, and I'm going to create a very simple fancy fold card, just using these supplies. And it is surprisingly simple because all you need to do, so I'm just going to get my bone folder out and give that a good burnish, is simply we're going to fold back this front piece here onto itself, take it to the edge. It doesn't have to be quite at the edge, like so, and then use your bone folder to give that crease. So it'll give you a sort of very simple Z fold card. Let's see if you can see that, like that. So now I'm going to have to think about measuring everything. So I just easily quickly grab a ruler. So I'm going to call it 5 centimetres wide. So I needed this panel to be 4.5 centimetres, already the right length, so that's good. But if I do that, then I can't actually, oh yeah, I'll have a bit left to do something with. So I'm going to make that 4.5, so I'm going to get my trimmer. So I get that 4.5, like so, which means I need to make this piece 4 centimetres wide, because I'm going down in 0.5 centimetres, like so. And then I also need to decide whether I'm going to take it off the bottom or the top. And I think I'm going to take it off the top, so I need that to be like just under, literally just under 14 centimetres. Oops, excuse me, I've just knocked my glass with my trimmer. So there's my panel that's going to go on here. Now I've got my white that I want to put on the inside. Like that. I'm not gluing it just yet. Now I could put a piece down there, but I don't think I will. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece across and create just a piece that's going across the middle. And I just need to work out how wide I want it. It's probably about there, which is 8 centimetres. So I'm going to cut that, oops, crumbs, 8 centimetres wide. Obviously I'm a bit stuck if I don't like it that wide now, because I've cut it. Now it is going to cover that rather nice rose there, which is a bit of a pain. So I could put it underneath, because I really do like that rose. But I think I'm going to have to be brave. Or I could... maybe I'll put it that way, so at least it's still got some of the rose. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea at the time, but hey, you know what? We've got where we are, where we're at. I could even just go completely off-piste and use the other side, but I don't think that's really the right colour. So I'll do that and do that to start off with. And then, you know what? I am going to do this. And I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to put that on there. And I'm going to stamp Berry Burst on there with the birthday will fit. So they'll both fit. So the birthday and the happy will fit. Let's see, do I want... So I've got that birthday. And I've got that birthday. So they will both fit on there. Or I can actually go for the swirly font. It's only because I don't know what the actual font is. And that says happy birthday. So maybe I'll do it like that. Do it that way. So I am not even going to attempt to try and put both of these on to one block, because I know, because of the way they are, because they are so swirly and stuff, I don't want to be having to push one out the way. So I'm simply going to put the happy onto one. Try and line the top of the letters, well, the top of the A, P, and the P and the Y with one of the lines on the grid paper, and then try and line up the bottom of the block with another line. So in theory, that should be straight. And I'm going to do a similar thing with the birthday. So again, but this time I'll probably, let's have a look at it. It's kind of all over the place, that one. So I've got my T and the curly bit of the D, I think, are kind of in line. And maybe the B at the front. See the Y's completely out. I'll do that. See how that looks. I can always turn it over. So I want, let's see what this looks like first. So I'm going to stamp this on this scrap bit that I cut off. Oh yeah, so that's okay. So this is Berry Burst ink that I'm going to stamp onto the Berry Burst card. I'm going to do the birthday first. That's the biggest word. And I'm going to put that, let's see if I line that paper up with the grid paper. So if I line my cardstock up with the grid paper, and then sort of go, maybe I'll go up half. And then line this up. Like that. This is why I probably realise that I've actually got plenty of room. And I do. So you know what, I'm just going to turn it over and start again. Going to give it a bit more space. Probably haven't given myself enough space now, but hey. So there's the birthday. Here's the happy. Try and get it sort of. It'd be nice to be able to put the peas into this bit here, but I don't really think it's going to happen. Excuse me a minute whilst I just pull it a bit closer to me. Hopefully you can just about see still. Happy birthday, right, okay. So that's going to go across there. And I know, as I said, I am covering up that rather nice paper flower there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fussy cut around this one that's on the scrap. I did give everybody an option to cut out a flower or two from a whole piece of paper. And quite a few people did actually, so there was all sorts of, as I said, fussy cutting going on and no scrunching and things though. Maybe I'll get them to do that next time. I know I held a class once and it's just like, I said to them that they're going to rip the paper and scrunch the paper. And I kind of look a horror on some people's faces, but hey, it's all part and parcel of the fun. At the end of the day, it's only paper and cardstock. I guess it matters if it is your favourite paper though. So what's been going on in the Stampin' Up world this week? Well, so I've seen the new catalogue that starts on the 1st of May. So I've seen that. I've also seen the retirement list, which will be I'm going to be posting it this weekend. There's a couple of things I need to do. I need to take out all like the French and the German stamps because we're not really too bothered about those here in the UK. So I need to do that, but then I also need to just make sure you can actually read it because the fonts are really small. But there is a lot on the list, and I thought all the so there is some cardstock and stuff because some cardstock is going up come 1st of May. So that is worth noting. But all this is going to go in my newsletter. So I will post copies of the, excuse me, of everything on the newsletter so that you can see for yourselves and decide. There's some great bargains to be had. So it's not just for the annual catalogue. There's a list for the annual catalogue that ends on the 30th of April, but there's also the list for the January to April mini catalogue. So there are two retirement lists that will be going out, and starts on the 9th of April. So that will run from the 9th of April to the 30th of April, which actually is not very far away. I can't believe that we're like on the 20th of March now. It's kind of crazy. Right, so I want that to be in the middle. Now I could put some paper on there, but I think that might look a bit odd. That also doesn't look that good. So do I actually change my mind? It's my prerogative. And go for stamping on here and then fussy cutting. I don't really want to do... let's see. No, you know what? I think we can do this. I can do this, I should say. Not you. It's me that's doing this. So this is going to go on here. I'm going to try and make sure that it's equal spacing from that edge and that edge. And I'm going to use dimensionals, which means I need to be careful not to put stuff on this side. And of course, I've also got that on the back side of it, which is not so nice. But this is just a sample. It's not going to. I might get used to. I might put something else on the back of that to hide that. But not now. Right, dimensionals. So as I said, I need to be careful not to put anything further than here. So I'm just going to put 2 here. That will hold it there. And then I'm going to put 2 on that outside edge. Or close to the outside edge. Which should be more than enough, because this is not a huge piece and it's nothing else that's really going to get put on here other than a flower and some rhinestones. So that's going to get put on here. Could actually do another one, so actually I'm going to go for this one and fill that space up even more. If you don't like the green, you can cut inside the edge of the flower. So this is going to look a little bit lopsided, but there's ways and means around that, because I don't want the leaf. So I'm just going to chop off around that. Keep going quickly as I dare. Right, so that's actually going to go on here, like, let's see, like that and like that. So that will get hidden. I can seemed like a good idea. It's not quite the right shape, but actually no, that will work. So I'm going to glue that one on. Just put a bit of glue on the corner there. I don't want it to go outside the edge of the card. Go a little bit because it will still fit in the envelope. So that's that, and then that's going to go on top. If I could put it that way and to hide the green, that would work. So there's ways and means, you just need to sort of think about it. I was going to say logically, but Quite often there's no logic involved here when I'm crafting. I just sort of go for it. There we go. So I've got my two flowers. I've got my sentiment. I might need something on here. I think what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to stamp the flower all the way up the edge. And I'm going to do it in berry burst again so that it complements the Melon Mambo. But I'm not going to like do the whole thing. Just simply going to just continue using the same stamp. You just need to be careful that you don't use a bit of the stamp that has been stamped on here, because it will you'll end up with a line. So that's that. So that will get put in here like that. We're just going to pretend that we can't see the back of that bit that says birthday on there. So I might end up just sort of putting that on there, gluing it directly on so it can't be seen. And then we need some rhinestones to finish it all off. So again, I've only used what was already here, just to show you that, you know, these kits, okay, so everyone gets the same thing, but not everybody makes the same card. I might even have a go at the old fussy cutting next time. I've got a spare bit here, so I will. Oh, I always think too much about putting these rhinestones on. I tell people not to, and then I'm an hour about it. So that is the fourth card, using that same kit. So this is mine. So it's just a simple unfold. So it's effectively just the front of the card that has been folded back on itself. And then what would have been the panel on the front, I've chopped up, put a panel here, but then used the rest of it for the sentiment. So that was that. And then simply stamped on the edge down there. So you've got something that to balance out. So on the right and the left. So those are the cards. That's the card from today, from this afternoon. And I've just dropped one. And then these are the other cards. And then, yeah, so actually those are the three cards that went this morning. Like so. And then that's the fourth one. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. This will get uploaded to YouTube when I get a chance. I'll put all the cutting instructions and stuff for this in the description for YouTube, and then obviously I will also post all the photos of each of the cards as well. So take care. Next week is a Stampin' and Creating week, to think about that then. So I hope to see you then. Take care. Bye.